Sacred Art of Altars Friday night highlights. And we're glad that you've joined us and are here to check in about the artist and the altars and the auction itself. I'm just going to do a little bit of history in case you don't know about the altars and how this all started. But we used to do a fundraiser every year at well, we started out at the Whitty Museum and we did a big gala with a silent auction. And then we moved downtown to a building that unfortunately is no longer there. There was a fire, but it was a beautiful facility. And one of our board members decided that he was going to give different artists a drawer or a box to create centerpieces for our tables. And so those, and then we would auction those off as well. And it was so successful. That's our dear friend Butch Edward Sagaville, that his idea became the impetus for this Sacred Art of Altars show, which is our 16th year of doing this show. We used to do it at the Bijou Theater, and they would hang there as a silent auction. So when the Bijou underwent their own kind of transformation after John Santikos passed, they decided they no longer wanted to have art in their lobby. So last year we moved to the Brick, and we were scheduled to do this show at the Brick in March and then had to cancel. So we've taken it online, and I just want to show you that this is the box that each artist was given. There were 60 of them made by Skip Gerson, who is a crafts person out of Comfort, Texas. And he personally builds each one. And we are grateful for his skill. And we kind of work together each year to figure out what the shape is going to be. Some years they've had a point on them. Some years they've had, instead of the bottom lip like this, it's been more like this. Some years they've been shorter, some years taller and thinner. And we give them to the artists and without any expectations or guidelines. They get to do whatever is meaningful for them personally, spiritually, politically, in some cases. So especially this year. And some artists, work with it like this. Some artists have turned it over and worked with it with the overhang on the top. So each one is so very unique and special and individual. And what else did I want to tell you? I want to tell you that we've sold 5 altars at the buy it now price of $250. So if there's an altar out there that you are in love with and you would like to have it, they all have the starting bid of $75. And we ask for a $10 bid increment. And then the buy it now price on each one is $250. So we're thrilled that we've sold 5 and hope to sell more. Hope to have more bids. We are, I think, over about $3,700 in bids. So my personal goal is for us to get to 10,000, and we have a week to go. So I hope you will help us get there. I'm going to post the link on Facebook, and so you will know where to go to see the altars. And what else do I want to say? I want to tell you that each altar has now, thanks to Mark Hebert and Alexis Bierman, a video of the altar itself. So they came over and we took all the altars out and they added each one. And it's nice to be able to see the sides and the back and a little bit closer up and the movement on some of them. Some of them have moving pieces. So look for those. It's on each, there's a link on each one that takes you to YouTube. And let's see, I'm gonna put the link up here so that you have that. And I think we have a guest musician coming in to do a song. So thank you, Rudy.
You're welcome.
And here we go. So I posted the link there for you to be able to access the altars directly. And now, first, I want our first guest tonight. And tonight we have several videos because Friday night must be a busy night for artists. Um, we have several videos that they have either sent or I actually did one interview and videotaped Beverly Meyer. So I'm first going to invite Deb Harris to come on and join us. And Deb is the president of the Fiber Artists of San Antonio, which for those of you who don't know, welcome, Deb.
Hi.
Thanks for being with us. So
Thank you for inviting me.
Can you tell everyone a little bit about what we call FASA, the Fiber Artists of San Antonio?
Oh, Fiber Artists of San Antonio, as we call it, FASA, is an organization that has artists varying in talents anywhere from novice all the way up to professional. And their whole link is fiber. They work with cloth, they work with plants, anything that basically has fiber in it. And I mean, there have been some very notable members. We have some very notable members within our organization. It's been in existence, I want to say now, probably about 20 years. It started out as a club. A few people got together and they made things and they chatted and they had classes and what have you, and evolved to what it is now. We have over 100 members, and they are active. Every time we get together, they create something new. And for me, the most exciting ones are the ones that take items that they have found somewhere and they repurpose them into art. And a lot of the pieces are very, very exquisite, just from a simple stick to the moss that falls off the trees, tabs from a can. It's fascinating, the things that they come up with. But it's a very spirited group, and a very extremely talented group. And I am very pleased and proud to be the president of this organization. And I'm in my second year of being the president, so I must not be too bad. So
Well, thank you for your service and for doing that. So I'm going to bring your altar out here.
Okay.
And put it up close so everybody can see it and ask you the title of the altar.
And keep in mind, I'm the novice in the group, okay? So my piece is called But for the Sun, and yes, it is political, because it addresses pollution, the contamination of our air. What you see in you see the sun, but the sun is not SUN, it's SON. So it has a bit of a religious hint to it as well, because if it was not for the sun, SUN, we would not have light. But if it was not for the sun, which is Jesus Christ, we would not have hope or light. And I have buildings represented in different fashions. They're either have an adequate filtration system, or they're producing carbon dioxide, and that's where the smoke comes in at. And then, of course, the word indicate toxic air, deregulation, because our government has deregulated a lot of the laws and bills that were working towards us having clean air, clean water. And some of the things that have resulted in this deregulation is asthma. As you all are aware, our earth is getting hotter, which is why we have these fires in California and Oregon and Washington State right now. So it is, very personable to me, because I have a son that has asthma, and he lives in California, of all places. And of course, we're losing our trees because trees are being cut down, and they help to keep our air clean. And right now, probably the best form of transportation is a bike because it's clean, it's easy to use, it keeps us healthy. But as long as our air continues to be contaminated, we'll even lose that capability. So, but yeah, that is my piece, but for the sun.
Beautiful. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And so, what's the process that you went through in creating the altar?
Well, I have a quilt that is very similar to, and I was trying to figure out, what can I do? Uh, One, to give homage to your organization, because I was very, pleased to be invited to do this, but at the same time express what has been my passion, which is clean air. And and it's funny because I work with fabric, a lot of fabric, and I was looking for the perfect fabric to cover the background with. And so then I was looking at somebody else's piece and saw they had painted. I said, okay, I need to paint it. So I took it outside, and my intent was to spray paint the outside in black. And when I stepped back, I had all this soot effect from the paint on the inside. I said, well, I don't need any more fabric to cover the back. Let me just go on ahead and start piecing in my other elements.
Ah,
And I have a wide collection, if you will, of fabric that was suitable for that, for the pavement, for the
yeah.
sidewalk, and all the elements that are contained within that piece. So yes, it was once you get an idea, it's easy to do. So yes. And it
And
was fun to make.
so the quilt came first and then this.
Yes, the quilt was done, and it's a small quilt. It's only like 18 by 22. It was done a couple of years ago. And as a matter of fact, I picked up the altar up at Sacy. And so I had the quilt at one time hanging up at Sacy during an exhibition. And it's actually my favorite piece. So in effect, this was almost a no-brainer because it gave me another avenue to express my thoughts.
Wonderful. Well,
Yes.
there's nothing, like you said, nothing more important than clean air and clean water. That if we don't have that, we're going to be
We're
yeah,
we're in trouble.
we're
Yeah,
in big trouble. So
we're in big trouble. So yeah,
thank you for making that statement for all of us.
my pleasure. So yeah. Unfortunately, it is what it is. That phrase just has a whole lot of different meaning at this point.
It does, doesn't it?
As we watch our earth burn up and the things that are happening, people, we're, we have technology. Technology is good and bad. The technology that we have for us to have this presentation today is wonderful. We're staying safe. We're able to communicate and we're able to share. Technology, on the other hand, is part of the reason our atmosphere is being compromised. Because every time we go up in a spaceship in search for more life forms, more water, what have you, we destroy layers of our atmosphere that are designed to protect us. And it is our selfishness that has gotten us to where we are today. We don't respect what we've been blessed with. So,
Right.
yeah.
Well, thank you. Anything else you want to say about your altar?
No, nothing else I want to say about the altar, but hearing as I hear about the different events here in San Antonio that are designed to help others, uh, I I am appreciative that I can take part in this, and I admire your efforts. I did not know this had been in existence for 16 years, and I've lived here for 20. So just one more thing for me to be involved in some form of fashion. And I really thank you for this opportunity because it has given me a chance to express myself, but at the same time, help, organization and admire the art of others. I've gone onto the website and I am very, very impressed by the array of talent that have stepped up to create these different altars. So I look forward to next year.
Well, thank you. We appreciate your contribution and your creativity.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for being with us. You have a great weekend, and we'll see you I'll see you at the next FAFSA meeting.
Yes, you was it. Take care.
Thanks, dear.
Bye now.
Bye. So, let's see. The next thing I want to share with you is that we just got a new altar in from Lisa Nigro. And this altar, whew, talk about political. It is titled Can't Breathe. And you can see that it's clay and collage and painting. And there's this beautiful clay face on the top, and then the lungs, and then the chain holding the heart with the arteries and veins and butterflies inside for the hope and the freedom that we all feel when we can breathe. And unfortunately, some of us have not been able to do so. So Lisa had to leave town, and her altar didn't get turned in, and so I just finally made a connection to the woman's house sitting for her, and got to pick this up this week. So we just added it. So it's on there. It's the last one, number 155 is the catalog number. Lisa Nigro. She's a fantastic artist. So, you want to do a song? Okay, Rudy's going to come do a song. And is that going to be in your way?
No, but
I'm going to trade places with you.
okay. So I'll sing a favorite from that we sing in the circle often that invokes the spirit of all these altars, in my opinion. We are dancers in the light and dreaming. We are dancers in the light of truth. We are dancers in the light and singing. And this dancer in the light is you. We are dancers in the light and singing. We are dancers in the light of truth. We are dancers in the light and dream. And this dancer in the light is you. We gather here in a circle. Some feel weak, some feel strong. We believe that love's for sharing, and the light will lead us on. We are dancers in the light and singing. We are dancers in the light. We are dancers in the light and dreaming. And this dancer in the light is you. The liberty of changing the lyrics slightly. We're all artists in the light. Each and every one of the artists who submitted an altar are doing their best to share light in the world. I'd like to acknowledge that with this. We are artists in the light and dreaming. We are artists in the light of truth. We are artists in the light created. And this artist is me and it's you. Please say you are with us. Say you feel it deep inside. Voice inside speaks so gently. Can you hear it in time? We are artists in the light creating. We are artists in the light of truth. We are artists in the light and hoping. And this artist in the light is you. and the light is yours. And each and every one of us has that creative space inside of us, and that's why we're offering these altars as prompts for the creativity in your life, in your home, your office, your favorite space where you could place one of these altars as a center of attention, as a place to put a favorite photograph or affirmation or prayer or something that lifts some aspect of your life, your work, your path here on earth. So each one of these 55 artists
Yes.
has a different vision of what is important or sacred or powerful and meaningful to them. And we're hoping by offering them to the public that people will resonate with the individual topics, whether it's because of the color scheme or because of the subject matter, just the artistic resonance flowing from each one. It'll speak to you and call for a place in your home, in your office, and maybe at the spot where you like to meditate or affirm in your life. Consider this is beautiful art. Each and every one of these has its own beauty and integrity and message. But each one of these, I believe, also calls forth to be a center of attention and intention. At least that's my understanding, my invitation to you. And now I turn it back over to our master of ceremonies. Also our executive director, creative director, curator.
I want to take a moment now to share a video with you about the altar created by Beverly Meyer. And this is Beverly's altar. Very carefully, gently. Beverly works in mosaics, which you can see that they're all very carefully. Let's see, which way do I want to go? I guess. I don't know. I don't want to drop it, that's for sure. So you can see that she uses the object inside and then the glass and the beading around it. So I'm going to show you a video, a little interview I did with Beverly earlier this week. So welcome, Beverly Meyer, and your beautiful altar piece is beautiful, right?
Yes, thank you.
What was the inspiration for this piece?
Well, what I like to do and what I've been doing for the last couple of years is finding a sacred object, like in this one a little Buddha and this one a large Buddha, and then trying to see how a shape might evolve in the box and how it might evolve with the colors and to work with it. And this particular piece, this statue is just so beautiful on its own that I felt like it didn't need a lot of accoutrements. It didn't need a lot of extra stuff. This one was so small and little that, and this one was called Buddha Reaching Enlightenment Under the Bodhi Tree. So that the mirror is his enlightenment, and that's the Bodhi tree. So he was so small, he wasn't enough of a focus. So this one needed more focus. This one's just so beautiful on its own. So that's where I started.
And what's the process that you go through in the making?
Well, I like to just sit with the piece and the box first and get a sense of scale, like I was just talking about. And then I do mosaics, like as you can see on the sides. So I like to try to figure out what color scheme I want to do. So, you know, there's all kinds of glass and color schemes you can pick from. So these are stained glass. And then there's different types of mosaic tiles that you can use. So there's a huge color range. So there's a tremendous color range that either of these could go with. So I try to just sit with a piece over a period of a couple of weeks to see what color range might go well. So I decided to go with the green in the back and then the mix of the blue and the green on the side. So there you go.
And how did you come to start making mosaics?
I went to a stained glass class at Southwest School of Art and Craft. I really love color, and the stained glass pieces, like little shiny thing, I guess I'm like a crow, you know, I like little shiny bits and pieces. And I went to the stained glass class, and I loved the class and it was wonderful, but in stained glass, you're using lead solder. And I'm a natural health practitioner. And so I'm in the stained glass class wearing a respirator with a fan on me to blow the zinc and the lead solder and all this stuff away from me. And the instructor said, "You've got an amazing eye for color, but I think you're really uncomfortable with these metals." And I said, "I really am." And she said, "Why don't you try mosaics?" So that's where you can do pre-cut mosaic pieces. You can get different tiles and cut them to shape. You glue them on. You've got to measure really closely where you're going so you know how big your pieces are. You can buy different shapes and things and learn how to and mosaic them with little tiny pieces. Or incorporate them onto a large piece of some kind. And these you can put on glass, cut them into shapes, and glue them onto glass. And then they're what is called glass on glass mosaic. So they don't involve any kind of soldering. It's just the glue. And I like Weld Bond. It's real easy and it dries mostly invisibly. So I have no artistic background at all. But anyway, this seems to work for me, and it satisfies my need to be very obsessive and detail oriented and to use color. So I really like that.
And how did you come up with the title?
The more time I spent with this piece, it's just such a beautiful piece. It's just beauty incarnate, and it's also such a peaceful piece. And I just said, peace is beauty, beauty is peace. It's just such a peaceful, beautiful thing. And so there it is. It's just peace and beauty. And by the way, the back is plain, and the tiles make it a little heavy. So it would be good for sitting on a side table, but you could also put a hanger in the back if you wanted to hang it. But one trick about using art inside shadow boxes is you want to look and see where is your lighting going to be coming from, because if you hang things in a dark place, you won't be able to see into them. So I try to bring the things forward as much as I can. So you want to pick where the lighting's going to come from, which is another reason I did the gold beading on the outside, was to help kind of focus the light. I forget what the question was, but
Well, thank you. It's beautiful, and it is peaceful.
It's a beautiful piece. I'm really happy with it, and it's also got the same tile design goes across the top with little strips of stained glass to fill, because the tile didn't fill equally. So there's a little tile glass to fill it, so it goes wall to wall, if you will.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah. So, thank you, Beverly. And I just want to tell you about the artists themselves. Maria Alvarado, their names. I want to call out everyone. Ana Arieta, Zette Bear, Kathy Barrios, Lynn Belial, Alexis Bierman, John Bierman, Momo Brown, Annie Centeno, Tam Corbett, Sophia DeBalsa, Sandy Dunn, Sarah Flannery Garza, Betty Franklin, Carl Franklin, Joan Frederick, David Anthony Garcia, Michelle Glenn, Susie Gonzalez, Martha Grant, Deb Harris, Charles Pompa Harrison, Rudy Harst, Mark Hebert, John Hinojosa, Casey James, Julie Jarvis, Janice Joplin, Deborah Keller Wren, Donna LaMonaco, Sarah Lyons, Jeff McDaniel, Savannah McDonough, Michael Menchaca, Kathy Miner, Beverly Meyer, Shirley Mooring, Jose Mojica, Susie Monday, Alexandra Milipa, Ray and Cindy Palmer, Kathleen Baker Pittman, Teresa Powers, Linda Rael, Tom Ricks, Caroline Royal, Edwin Sosick, Patsy Sosick, Lagreen Schubert, Chuck Squire, Daniel Stoneham, Brent Wyden, CJ Black, and Lisa Nigro. So there you have it. That is the group and the powerful artists that they are. I'm going to show you one more video. This one is by Joan Frederick, who is a photographer and artist here in San Antonio, originally from Oklahoma, from Indian country. So here we go.
My name's Joan Frederick, and I'm here to talk about the altar I did for Celebration Circle. I've been donating my artwork to them for as long as they've been doing this art auction with the altars, and I'm very happy to do so. I think a lot of Zette and Rudy. So I've been doing it ever since they first began doing it. The photograph that I took for the altar, I blew it up, of course, and then I installed it in the altar. And it's an image of the Tower Life building in San Antonio coming down from the Hemisphere Tower. And I just always thought that was such a beautiful image. So, you know, with the city all out below, and, you know, it's real high looking down. It's just a really nice image. So I wanted to capture that image, and then I added a mobile in the picture. It's actually very minimal and simplistic, but then I added motion with a mobile of clouds, and I took pictures of clouds and glued them back and back together, and then made a mobile out of the clouds so that the clouds move around inside the image as if you're actually coming down, you know, out of the clouds and seeing that sight. So I just thought that would be kind of a meditative piece. That's why I did it. That's why I picked that for the artwork to use on my altar. Movement has been something I've done several times in my altars for the fundraisers. So I just thought, well, that's something I can do that's easy for me, and I have always really enjoyed it. It adds a lot of interest, and especially with that particular piece, it's very simple. So all I know is that I hope whoever purchases it enjoys it. It's one of my very favorite photographs, especially of San Antonio, because I think that's the one building that I really always look at whenever I'm coming and going. I always look up to see that building because I think it's the most beautiful in our lovely town. So I'm real happy to be a part of a Celebration Circle fundraiser, and hope it's a big success.
So this is Joan's altar, that beautiful image of the Tower of Life building, and then the lovely mobile that she added with the clouds. And she wrote on the back, it says, San Antonio skyline, Joan Frederick, place in indirect light and preferably location where fan or breeze will help the clouds move. So a little air creating movement. As you can see, the photograph wraps all the way around on the inside. You see even more of the skyline here on the inside of it. And she's painted the outsides as well with the kind of starlight night image. So, Joan Frederick, San Antonio skyline. Thank you, Joan, for being with us. And now, one last artist who has been with us before, but she created this own inspirational video herself, and it's Tam Corbett is an inspirational person. She is sharing her creativity and passion for life with adults and children, and making a difference in the world. So here is Tam.
Good day, I'm Tam. I'm the creator of Live to Inspire, You Are the Fire. So this was a mantra that I kept on telling myself and feeding myself and sitting myself with on, like, that I am the fire. I am the fire towards my dreams, towards my goals, to anything that I want to persevere into, and I had to seek that within myself, and it's a process that we all have and that we go through because we have ups and downs, right? So with it, I burnt it, and I hit it, with some stuff, made some notches in it with a Dremel, made some holes so light can shine through all that darkness. And then in the middle, I wanted that mantra again, live to inspire, you are the fire, and for it to be popping out at you. And then I put a small area where you can put a candle or like your favorite incense in there. And just take that time, take that small time for yourself, any time that you get, any chance that you get, so this is a great thing for a youth, some kind of, your niece, your nephew, your daughter, your son, somebody who's like struggling with that, because there's a lot of things that we struggle with, and confidence is a top one, that we don't have that confidence, and the confidence is within us. We have to find that first, because you are the fire towards your dreams and your goals, and you can, seek it, and you can surround yourself with all that positivity, and that's why I created this altar. I created this altar to inspire me and others to find their inner fire. You can catch me at Live to Inspire Movement on any platform, and I hope that you stay inspired and inspire others. Peace.
So that was Tam Corbett, and with her Live to Inspire movement. She's a graphics designer. She also just designed our Chalk It Up mural that we did last week. So you can find more information about that on our online, on our Facebook page or YouTube channel. So we do have a little bit more to show you, and I'll get a little bit closer. She's got this beautiful disc on top, and the sides she added to, and like she said, drilled holes in. So another beautiful altar. thank you so much for being with us tonight. We are grateful. We hope that you will go to the website and bid often and bid now. And callers are calling in right now. Callers are calling in to bid, right, Mateo?
Wow.
Wow. All
What's
right.
up?
I'm just closing out our Friday night highlight. So
Nice.
thank you all for being with us, and we will see you next Friday. We will be live from 7 to 8 for the grand finale, closing on the bidding, final bidding on all the altars. So please go, the link is there, and go look at the altars and bid now, bid often, and bid high. Thank you. Blessings.